Hi, welcome to Quick Business Tips. I'm Jennifer Swineford, founder of Limitless Impact Agency, and this is the podcast for service-based business owners who want to grow their business without losing the heart behind it. Every week, I'm bringing you real practical strategies on marketing, sales, and customer experience. No fluff, no hustle culture nonsense, just what works. So let's get into it. I want to start out today with a question that might feel a little rough. If someone in your city right now opened up Google and typed in the service that you provide, would they be able to find you? Would they be able to find you and immediately understand why you're the one that they should call? Because for a lot of service businesses, the honest answer is no. For some of them, they might be able to confidently say maybe, or I really don't have any clue. And here's what that means. It means that there are people that are in your market who need exactly that thing that you provide, who are looking for you, who have money to spend, and they're finding your competition instead of you. And it's not because your competition is better at doing what you do. It's not because your competition has been around longer or has a bigger ad budget. It's because they're visible and you might not be. So today, I want to help you fix that. And most of what I'm going to share with you today is free or nearly free. So this is not a conversation about bigger ad budgets or agency retainers. This is about visibility that changes and compounds over time. And these are the things that most service businesses are either completely ignoring or only doing halfway, inconsistently, and wondering why nothing's changing for them. Something that I see a lot when I start working with a new client. They have a beautiful portfolio or gallery, years of experience, excellence in their work, client testimonials that would make anybody want to call them. But hardly any of it is really visible to someone who doesn't already know who they are or is getting a referral to them. It's like you have the best restaurant in the whole city, but there's no sign on your door, no listing on Yelp or OpenTable, and you only tell people about your restaurant if they ask you. Now, nobody would ever do that with a restaurant, but service businesses pretty much do that every single day. And there's a reason why. Most business owners got their start through word of mouth. They told their friends, their family, their sphere of influence. Then they got referrals because they did great work and their clients told their friends, their family, their sphere of influence. Those jobs led to more jobs, and that works. It works really well, but it only works for a while. Then you decide that you are doing well and you want to grow, and you have to grow beyond your immediate network. And you want to stop being dependent on those clients and who they're going to refer next. Because let's face it, those clients are not your sales team, they're not on your payroll, so you can't influence them to bring you work when you're slow. You want the phone to ring all on its own. And this is when visibility starts to show up as a problem. The good news is that for local service businesses, visibility doesn't require a huge budget or a full-time marketing team. All it requires is consistency and being intentional. And these are two things that you have complete control over. So let's start with the most underused free marketing tool available to every local business on the planet. This is your Google business profile. And you've probably heard of this. Maybe you even set one up at some point. But there are steps that you can take to optimize it, and that's what I want to talk about. Because there's a huge difference between having a profile and having a profile that really works well for you. So when someone searches for your service in your city, Google doesn't just show websites. The first thing it shows is a map. And there are usually 3 to 5 businesses right at the top underneath the map. So nobody has to scroll. Whether you're on your desktop or your phone, it's the first thing that you see. And businesses that are featured in that map are going to get the majority of the clicks. Even if your website is the first website that shows up below that map, you're going to miss a whole lot of business because people just aren't even going to scroll past the map. So how do you get your business listed in that top 3 to 5? First, you need to have a complete profile. This isn't just your business name, your address, your phone number. This is also your website, your hours, your service area, the categories that you serve, a description, a short description, photos, everything. Because incomplete photos get dinged when it comes to Google. If you look at Google as like a scoreboard, you get points for every one of those things that you fill in. So complete profiles are going to get the most points. Someone with the most points is going to show up higher in that map pack. Number 2, we talked about photos in number 1. I'm not talking about one photo from 3 years ago. Google profiles get the most points when you regularly update your photo library. These are job site photos, finished work, photos of your team, your equipment, your location, areas around your location, the best way to get to your location, how to find your office from the street, all of it. Because Google rewards those profiles that show the most consistent activity. And photos are the easiest way for you to demonstrate that you are active on your Google business profile. The third one is reviews. And this one, I have clients that say, yeah, we know we need to get around to that. They never do. This one is super, super, super important. They are the single most powerful trust signal for a local service business. And it's not just the number of reviews, it's how recently you received one. Because businesses that have 12 reviews from 4 years ago, people start reading them and wonder, well, what's happened in the last 4 years? But a business that has 12 reviews that all were received in the last 6 months, now that's powerful. And the best way to get Google reviews is to just have a system to request them. Not once, not occasionally when your sales team thinks about it, every single time you complete a job. And here's the tricky part. You can't even just ask for that review one time. You have to stay on the customer because they want to give you a review. They might even say, absolutely 100%, I would be happy to give you a review. And then it slips their mind. So send them a link directly to your Google review page. Google will give you a link that takes them not only to your Google business profile, but will also pop up the window. So all they have to do is click a number of stars and type something in. When you send the review immediately after the client has expressed some form of satisfaction, you are more likely to get that review from them quicker. If you wait 2 weeks for it to process through your system and maybe your assistant's assistant finally gets around to sending an email, that gets lost in junk, the moment's passed. They are no longer excited about the work you've done or the review they want to give you. So send them quickly, send them often, email, text, have a card with a QR code that takes them directly to that spot. Google reviews are more powerful than I can explain to you with words. And last are Google Posts. Now, almost none of the service businesses out there use these, but they are completely free. You can post updates, offers, completed projects, tips, not really anything significantly different than what you're probably posting on social media. But you post it directly to your business profile, and that again lets Google know that you are active and your business is relevant. They give you more points, and so you will show up higher in that list. And it costs you nothing because you're already posting or probably should be posting on social media anyway. So if you get nothing else from today's episode, go update your Google business profile today, right now, this week. Hit pause, get it done. Because doing that one thing and doing it well will do more for your local visibility than anything else you could spend money on. And the second thing that you can do to increase your visibility is become a trusted voice in your market. This is not the loudest voice. This is the most trusted. Let me give you an example. When a homeowner in your city is thinking about a huge renovation, they don't just Google contractors and call the first one. They do their research. They read, they watch, they try to figure out who knows what they're talking about before they pick up the phone. And let's face it, right now, they're asking ChatGPT or their preferred AI platform. So your local authority content, which is what we use in marketing speak, that's how you show up in your research. Their research, not yours. Now, even though local authority content sounds super complicated, it's not. It can be so simple. It can be a blog post on your website, like 5 things to know before you start a kitchen reservation. It can be a short video. I'm talking 30 to 60 seconds. It shows up on your social media and you're answering the one question you wish every homeowner asked before they hired a contractor. It can even be one of your Google posts, something like what we learned on a recent project that every homeowner should know. The goal for this content is not for it to go viral. The goal is for it to be genuinely useful to the people who are looking for your service. They have a problem, you can solve it. They have questions, they're doing their research. You need to be able to provide them with useful information. Now, where this compounds is the part where most people miss, because this content doesn't disappear after a post. Your blog post that you write today can still be driving traffic to your website 2, 5, 10 years from now. A video that you post on YouTube this week will still be generating trust with homeowners in your city 6 months later. But visibility has to be consistent and useful for it to compound. When your visibility is only built on ads, those ads stop and the visibility stops when you decide to stop paying for them. Now, the third thing that you can do to become more visible is something that gets overlooked a lot because it feels old-fashioned. And that is your strategic presence in your local community, whether it's online or offline. Here are some examples. Online, you might show up in some local Facebook groups, not to spam your services, but answer questions, offer useful information, and be a helpful presence in the communities where your ideal customers live. So when a homeowner posts in a neighborhood Facebook group and asks, does anyone have a recommendation for a good contractor? Will you get tagged in that post? Or are your past clients in that group likely to mention you? Because that kind of organic visibility is worth more than any paid ad because it comes with built-in social proof. Here's another example. Are you listed in platforms where your clients use? It could be House, Nextdoor, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Zillow. So depending on what your service is and what your market is, these are meaningful visibility channels, not as a replacement for the rest of your marketing, but as an additional touch point where people who are already looking for you can find you. Now there are offline visibility options too. These are networking groups, business associations, sponsoring a youth sports team, showing up at community events. These strategies are not outdated. They're relationship building in the places where your best customers live. I have watched service businesses get more referrals from 6 months of consistent presence at a local networking group than from years of inconsistent social media posts. Because people refer people they know, like, and trust. And you build that trust in person as much or more as you build it online. Now, the goal of a strategic local presence is simple. You want to be the first name that comes to mind when someone talks about the service you provide. It could be in a group chat, a dinner party, a Facebook group, a neighborhood association. When someone needs the thing that you do or knows someone who does, is yours the first name that gets mentioned. So I've given you 3 steps that you can take to increase your visibility. The first one is to optimize your Google business profile and to be consistent at it. Number 2, create your local authority content to serve the people in your market before they pick up the phone. And number 3, build a strategic local presence, both online and offline, so your name is the first one that gets mentioned. None of these require a huge budget, but all of them require consistency. And the truth about consistency is most of your competitors aren't going to do it. Not because they don't know, they didn't listen to this podcast, but because, like most people, they'll start, then they'll stop. They might post for 2 weeks, then disappear for 2 months. They'll update their Google business profile once and never touch it again. And that inconsistency is your opportunity for growth. When service businesses dominate their local visibility, they are almost never the ones with the biggest budget. They're the ones who showed up week after week for a long enough time to allow the compounding effect to kick in. And that's available to you right now, today. I do want to mention one more thing that I think matters beyond strategy. There are people in your market right now who need exactly what you do. Not a version of what you do, the very specific expertise, the unique approach, and the care that you bring to your work. And right now they can't find you. And that's not okay because those people deserve to find the right person for their project. It has nothing to do about your business growth or your goals or anything else. The people who need what you do deserve to be able to find you. So if getting visible as a growth strategy feels a little icky, I want to remind you that being visible is your responsibility to the people that you were put here to serve. And I hope that encourages you to make yourself more findable today. Now, if you would like a visibility strategy built specifically for your business and your market, Not this checklist, but a real plan that takes into account everything you're doing, where you are, where you want to be. That's the kind of work that we could do together. It starts with a free strategy session. You can use the link in the show notes below or visit limitlessimpactagency.com and select a time that works for you. And if you know a service business owner who is incredible at what they do, but pretty invisible online, share this episode with them. It might be the exact nudge that they need today. If something landed for you today, I would be so appreciative if you'd share this episode with one person in your world who needs to hear it, because that's how this show will grow. And I am so grateful for every single share that is made. If you're ready to take what you learned today and put it into work to grow your business, I would absolutely love to talk to you. You can use the link in the show notes or visit limitlessimpactagency.com to schedule your free strategy session. We'll figure out exactly where you need to focus first, but until next week, go do something amazing.